Welcome back, ladies. Now we're going to start our gift ideas. So this is our little bottle cover. I called it the Mud Shake or Cruiser Cheer bottle cover. Great little way to gift a bottle. So I'll just undo it here. Take the tag off and just show you how it just comes out and fits in so easily. So you can put whatever you like in there. Okay, just put that aside for the minute. You will get your instructions. I'm going to follow along with that. So you'll get your cardstock. It will be 8.5 by 8 inches. And out of your pack, you will choose which designer series paper you would like. So I've chosen this one. You will need to cut into your second piece just for one extra strip. I'm sorry about that. You will get a tag. You'll also get a piece of cardstock because I just cut around this to give it the layer look. And you'll get, I'll put your punch pieces in your kit as well. So it's the double oval punch that we'll be using as well. You'll get your twine in there as well. So we'll just put those couple of bits aside, and we're using Real Red and Old Olive ink. You can use those two colours right through all of the projects. So what we're going to do first is we're going to bring in our trimmer, and you're going to put your 8.5 inch piece to the top. I need to show a little bit more of the top so you can see that. And we're going to be using our light grey, our scoring one. So we're going to firstly score at 1.5 inches. And then you're going to slide it along to 7 inches. So score. Then you're going to turn 90 degrees. And now we're going to score all the little side panels. So our first one is 1.25 inches. Then slide along to 2.5. Then 3 3/4. 5 inches. 6 1/4. That's quite a bit hard to see, but it is marked. And then 7.5. So we've got that little small piece at the end, and that's your scoring. I'm just going to put this aside. So now we're just going to burnish all our score lines. So we're going to go along the side, do our little 1/2 inch piece, and across. Give them all a nice hard press. Bottom, top, or either way. So you've done all that. So now what you can do here, you can either eyeball this or you can put it back into your trimmer and measure it precisely. So I've got the measurements there for you if you want to measure precisely, but I find it just as easy to eyeball it. So all we want to do is you want to know the middle of every, I'll put that up a little bit closer for you, the middle of each of those little increments here. So just go along, and you can either eyeball or you can do it precisely. So then we're going to get our scissors and we're going to cut. So you're going to, if you want to draw a line, that's up to you, but I'm just going to draw a light line on here. So we're going to cut up to this point, down to this point, up to this point, down to this point, up and down. So I'll do a couple of those for you. So start here, and down to that point. So you're just cutting a zigzag right along the top. So you just need to get your point. And go all the way along the top. So don't go down further than that score line. And our last one. And when you get to the end here, we don't want any of this, so we're just going to cut off on a diagonal line like that on our little 1/2 inch piece here. And you can also do the same at the other end on your diagonal. So you're just going to snip into there, and this time we're just going to cut straight up all these score lines to this line. So this is the bottom of the box, so we're just cutting straight up the score line to this score line here. So just straight up. So we've got all our little flaps here and our crowny points at the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to punch a little hole in about here. So if you've got a hole punch, remember the hole's got to be big enough to get some thin cord through. I've got an old crocodile that I've had for a long time, so I'm just going to use that. Some people might fold it all and do them all at once. That's okay if you're good, but I recommend to start off with, you can either put a dot or you can just guess and just go along and put a hole in each, just about the same distance down. Maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch down. You don't want it too close to your points, so it pulls through. So you've got a hole in all of those there. So now what we want to do is add our designer series paper. So these are all cut at 1 1/8 by 5 1/4, and they just fit in here. I'm hoping it's so that's my pattern that I've chosen. So we can go ahead and adhere those into, just centre it into all those where you've scored. So just centred into all those panels. My glue's run out. So you're just going to centre it in there. You might have a colour theme for Christmas that you want to use. Put these all on the table, would look great. Depends how many you've got coming for lunch, of course. If we get to gather at lunchtime or dinner time. You might have heard the rain in the last video. Well, it just teamed and we had hail the size of peas out there. I had to go out and actually shovel a gutter around the shed because it was coming through the shed. Anyway, that's what you do. So once you get all these on, you haven't got much to go really. Last one. So now what we're going to do is, you can either use your glue or your tear and tape. Doesn't really matter, I'll just use this. So you don't want it, you just want it up to that score line, you don't want it going over it. Might put 2 bits on. Tear that off. If you're using your tear and tape, it's good to use your bone folder to really adhere it. Just take a pick tool or scissors or whatever you have to lift that backing off. Now you should be able to just fold this down, doesn't matter anywhere, and fold that one over and it will meet up exactly. So now you've got this little 6-sided shape. So what we're going to do is fill in our bottom. So when you're filling in your bottom, I'm just going to put these out here to show you. So once you're happy with your shape, you're just going to fold the 2 opposites over. And put your crowns out as well, it doesn't matter. If you put your crowns out, you can actually sit it down and it's not going to hurt them. I'll just push them down. It's just easier for you. If you're confident enough not to do that, that's fine. So what I do is pick 2, I'm just going to put, that's the empty one, put a bit of glue on this bit here first, because they don't cover right over. So once you're happy with your shape here, you can just put those 2 across and get them straight. Like if you got them straight, it should stay in its shape. I might put a bit of glue on this one as well. I keep picking up that empty one, throw it over there. So just get it across. Wait a couple of minutes till it sticks. This is the most time consuming and hardest bit, I think. You can't get a lot of pressure on it. If you've got a bottle, it's a good idea to stick it in and you can hold it a little bit harder. But if you haven't, you just got to fiddle and hold it. So you've got something hard to push against on it. first one's the worst. So then you're just going to use the next two. I just put a bit in here to help. So over and over. I just hold them straight. Bit on here. And just hold them straight. You can stick your bottle back in. And if you keep them straight, you know that it's not too bad. So you don't need a full bottle to put in there. You can have an empty bottle while you're making it. Okay, so we'll just tip it up. So then we've got our little bottle holder. I just cut some twine off. I should have had it cut off. And I'm just going to double it just to make it a little bit stronger. Now you'll see here, I've started by you go in, then up, then down, then up. So I'll take that out just to show you. You can work it out exactly if that seam's at the back or not. So you go in and then up. Then down. Just that this undoes and does up a lot easier than if you're going down and down each time. So you have your that, and they just easily pulls up. You can just open it out softly, put your bottle in, and it just easily ties in. So now we'll do our tag. So we'll bring our tag in. So you will have your tag in your kit, and you can stamp or do anything what you like. I'm just going to use the little stars and stamp it across the tops, and I don't have to do the middle bit because you're not going to see that. But I'll just make sure I get the top and the bottom done. And we need a scrap piece. You'll have a spare piece in yours. You'll have a bit nicer looking piece than mine. And I will bring in the other stamp. Stamp in the centre. While I'm stamping. So now that's dried a little bit. What you're going to do is just glue up onto your tag. And just stick it on your piece of old olive. And now you're just going to cut around. The next die up was this. It just was too big, looked a bit funny. So all I'm doing is just cutting around, freehand around the die. Like so. Then I'm going to punch an oval punch piece out of there, And out of this bit, sorry, I'm nearly out of the picture on you. Just going to use that piece. And that. So you'll just have to use your hole punch to re-punch right through. So you've got a hole to put it in. And I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals just in the centre. So just in the centre because you're only sticking it into the middle. So there's your little tag. So now we'll add our tag to our little bottle holder. Just lay it down. And you can either tie a knot or a bow, or, oh, that wasn't a very good bow. Undo that. And there's your little cruiser or mud shaped bottle holder. How gorgeous is that? Hi ladies, welcome back. Mishap with the last video, so we're starting again. So our last project is a gift card holder. So this is our little gift card holder. We have a bow here, we open it up and our little gift card fits in here. There's plenty of room for you to write your greeting to whomever it's to, or you can even write it on the back. The ribbon just wraps around and just holds it all together, and it fits in an envelope perfectly. So this is another one, and so here are the pieces that we need. They will be all cut for you. So we'll just go through a few. It might just explain a few things to you a little bit clearer. So we'll have our DSP. You can choose whatever DSP you like in your pack. So you will be cutting the DSP. So you can choose what you want, and all the sizes are on the PDF written file for you. So this is the inside where we're going to put the gift card. I'll just put this out, move this down here so you can see it in the camera, just so you can see the bits and pieces. So this is this piece in here, and you're just going to do a punch out here. So that's what that piece is for. This piece is laid up like so, and this is where you're going to do your stamping. This little piece here is the front, so you're doing the front here, and then you will have this framelit die already cut out for you, and that's going to be the decoration on the front. So I've cut out all these little pieces. I'll stick them on here so you can see them better. I've just cut these out with the dies that I showed you in the previous video, or you can just hand cut around them, or you do whatever you like with the decoration. And this bigger piece, I'm picking them all up, is this bit right in the back. You only see a little bit, so you'll have this, and that is that piece in the back. So a piece of this basic white that I'm going to score goes mainly over that, so you don't see a lot of it. So that's what that piece is. And the last few pieces are like this, so one's on the inside and one's on the outside. So that just might explain so many bits and pieces to you. And we'll have our two pieces of the basic white cardstock. So in your instructions it will tell you what sizes they are, and then you're going to score them. So I'm just bringing in my score tool. So you'll have instructions like so. And I'm just going to work off these because it's been a couple of days since I've done it now. So the first piece we're going to get is the 4 1/4 by 7 1/2, and we're going to score it with the 7 1/2 piece up the top, and we're going to score it at 2 inches. Don't forget, use our scoring blade. So that's that one, 2 inches. And now we're going to get our other piece, which is 3 1/2 by 9. We're going to have the 9-inch piece at the top, and we're going to score it at 5 inches. Okay, then we're just going to put that aside. We're just going to get our bone folder and burnish those really well. Now you can work off your instructions exactly what it says, but I'm just going to go ahead and work from layer to layer, and I'll just go slow so you can follow along. So our first piece we're going to do is sit it in this little area here. So I'm just going to open this to show you. We're just going to centre it into that area. So you can use your favourite adhesive. You know mine's Tombow. It's quick and easy. Just layer those 2 pieces up. But how good this looks, this little gift card holder, it is quite easy to put it all together. So that's that one. So you can layer these ones up as well here. So I'm going to layer that up. I was thinking whether I could use the other side, but I can't. Put that. And straight on. Like so. I'm just going to fold this one over, bring in this same little piece, and adhere it to this. Okay, so now we're ready for our next piece. So we're going to bring in our next piece of the basic white that we've scored, burnished and cut, and where we're going to put it is right along this edge here. So we're just going to line it up with the Old Olive cardstock, and that just gives a nice little decorative edge around. So we're going to adhere that. So just get that fold line, just centre it so you've got a little bit of DSP both top and bottom, and right on the edge of the cardstock. You can open up and stick that down. Now we're going to bring in our cardstock that's going and DSP that's going to make the pocket. So to make a little edge here, I'm just going to bring in, I'm using Pretty Label punch. You can use whatever punch that you want, and you don't, it's up to you whether you want to measure. I'm a bit of an eyeballer. I like to just do it and hope for the best. Just cut that little piece out, and that just makes it a little bit easier for you to get your gift card in. So this time I'm going to use tear and tape just to make sure that it's got a good hold, because it once the gift card's out, I suppose it won't go back in. I need my scissors. You can, there you go, I've done it, I've ripped it. The last couple I did, I ripped some of the DSP. And up this side. Now just with your bone folder, just give it a good rub, because that just helps it to adhere. And then get your picker tool or your scissors or whatever's got a pointy edge. It just makes it a lot easier to get that tape off. Don't stick it to your card yet. Okay, so now we're just going to line it up with our cardstock. This is nowhere near as forgiving as Tombow. And then I just like to give it a little bit of movement under there with my bone folder so the card will fit in a little bit easier. Go down those sides. And that's our little pocket. So we're just going to adhere that to the centre. Like so. Now we've got this little piece we're going to go here. We're going to stamp on that, so we'll put that aside for a minute. So we're just going to do the decorative piece. I'm just deciding which one I might use. I might stick with the pinwheels. Just layer that piece up on the front. And then again. Like so. So look at that, it's coming together really fast. So this bit is going to go in here, and we're going to stamp on these two bits. I'll just bring it back in and show you. Just going to stamp your greeting and a greeting in there. So as you know, we're using the frosted gingerbread stamp set. Okay, I'll bring in my real red ink for the front one. Make sure that's the right side. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. And hopefully this will be straight, girls, because I can't get my head over it with the camera. And I'm just going to bring it sort of to the side a little bit, because this is where you want to put your embellishments. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry a little bit because red always runs a little bit. So now we're going to bring in our other piece and get our little candy kisses with our red. So all we're going to do is just a few little decorations up the top. That might do. And then I'll bring in my old olive. Just add a little bit of green for the feel like I want to put one in there. Okay, put those aside. And I might bring in, here's my black. Now I'll line this up on my paper. This might help me get it a little bit straighter. Forgive me if it's not straight enough if you look a bit sideways. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere that. Into the centre. Just going to press on the back in case that red's not dry. And I can put that on the inside. Okay, so now we're going to work on the front. So this is our little bit we're going to put on the front, bring in our embellishments, and this is where we're going to adhere our ribbon. So we're just going to really do our ribbon in half. So you're just going to wrap it around your card and just have the back a fraction longer than the front. Not a lot of difference, just make it a bit. So all you're going to do is put a bit of tear and tape in the centre here, and that will hold your, just going to rip off a piece. So just centre it, or wherever you want to put it. And lift the backing. And you're just going to, oops, there goes my picker tool. You're just going to put it across the tear and tape. So now you're going to bring in your framelit, and it's just going to centre across the top. So with this ruffly ribbon, you will need to dimensional it up to make it sit nice. So we don't want anything past this end little bit. So just get some dimensionals, and I'm not going to put any in the right across the middle because that's where your ribbon is. I haven't got many of these here. Oh, one lucky last one. Just to make it a little bit stronger. So just take off your backs. And just line it up wherever you want it. And then it's up to you what you put on here. You might have stamped something else completely different, and that's okay. So I'm going to just glue. It doesn't matter what you put on here, that's totally up to you. If you did buy the set, I'll just show you like you've got little pinwheels that you can cut out as well. You can stamp your own coloured pinwheels. You've got lots of little bits and pieces that you can add on there. So there's no right or wrong, it's just decorating. I'm just going to bring in a couple of these little ones now, littler ones. Have a green one. And then What's this little green one here too? So that's your gift card, and then all you have to do is tie. I'm just going to clear the deck because I'm going to bring a few other things back in to show you. Clear the deck here. So all you'd have to do now is tie a little bow. And that's your gift card holder. I hope you enjoyed that, girls. So I'm just going to put all these back together. So now I've got 3 gift card holders. That'll teach me for not checking my video. So we've done that one, which is not hard at all. I'm just going to bring back in our other projects. So we've done our mud shake or cruiser bottle holder, which I love this one, really love it. And this great little card, our bay window card, those 2 bay window cards, and our very simple card at the start, which I think they're just as gorgeous as well as a very complicated card. And I'm just going to show you the 2 that I advertise the set with. So these are the cutouts, the dies that you get in the pack, which is this die you get the outside. So that's the dies. So they're very simple cards as well. And these are just the pieces of your designer series paper that I just cut out with the bell and the bauble dies that you can cut around with them from your DSP. So girls, thank you very much for joining me for the mystery class and having faith in me. I hope you enjoy the projects, and I'll see you in December. Thanks ladies, bye.